guys, welcome to Gigi's Book Club. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the book Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession. This is book 2 in the Six Tudor Queens series, and I am so wowed by this book. This book was amazing. So if you don't know what this is basically a series on the six queens of Henry VIII. If you have not seen my first book review on Catherine of Aragon, I suggest you go and watch it. This series was written by Alison Weir, again, really good writer. So yeah, this book was awesome. So if you have not read this series, I would recommend it to you because this is for people who really like fantasy, but don't really want to, who like fantasy and who like history, but don't want to read some dry, boring document on like da 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 da, and it's like 500 words of dusty, boring stuff. So I really recommend this book series to you guys. So basically, this is King Henry's second wife, Anne Boleyn. She pushes the divorce of King Henry from Catherine, and she also ultimately gave Henry the idea to separate the England from the Catholic Church to create the English Church. That was more of her idea. So that's all I got until I go into the spoiler section. So if you have not read this book, I suggest you go read it, read the whole series. It's really great. So, bye! Okay, so I honestly thought I was going to hate Anne. I thought because in Catherine of Aragon, I didn't like Anne at all. I hated her. I thought she was the most annoying little upstart ever. I really did not like her. So I was kind of anxious about this book coming out and how I would feel about it. But it turns out that I loved Anne. I loved her. She was such an amazing character. Again, Alison Weir did such a great job of portraying the characters in this book. Because, well, I thought I was going to hate Anne. I saw more to her than just her, I don't care about anyone. So I really got to see her reasons behind being a snob. But, I mean, I also got to see a part of her that you don't see in Catherine of Aragon, where she was a really nice girl. And you also learned that while Henry was trying to court Anne was trying to push him away. She didn't want to be his mistress, which I thought was really great. So I really loved Anne. So Henry. This dude. I just grew more resentful to him because he's just, even though he was married to Catherine, he's still like, oh, there's a pretty girl, her name is Anne Boleyn, maybe I should court her. Oh, I'm stunned king, I can do whatever I want and get rid of all my wives. Come on, Henry. But I guess that's just how he was. There's nothing I can do to fix that, or any of us. So I grew more resentful to him as I finished this book. So I loved the Regent Margaret. I love her. She is one of my most favorite characters in the book, aside from Anne. She's just awesome because she's strong-willed, she's feminist, and she's also kind of funny in the court because she's like, ooh, I like you. Just kidding. I don't know why I find that funny. But I thought that I just really loved the Regent Margaret. I loved her views and I loved her character. I just wish I could have met her in real life because she's such an amazing person. Norris, I almost wish that Anne Boleyn hadn't married Henry and had married Norris, because I really liked him as a guy. I liked him. He was a really good character. However, you don't see much of him in this book because they were separated so much. But I really did like him, and I wanted Anne to marry him, but the king had already married Anne, so that was kind of a problem. So I almost wished that they could have got married. I think that would have made the better match than Henry and Anne, because Anne ended up getting beheaded, but technically that wasn't her fault. Claude, Queen Claude, I wasn't too much attached to, pretty much because I hated Francois. He can go, I don't know, he can go away. He can stop getting in everyone's lives, and he can go away. I hate Francois. I hate him. At first I thought his name was Francios, and I'm like, I don't think that's how you pronounce it, so I looked it up. It's Francois. So Claude I didn't get too much attached to because she seemed very detached from her maids, so we don't see a lot of her in the book. Henry I resented, as I already said, because he advanced toward Anne, but not only that, he advanced towards her Anne's sister Mary. I thought that was, wow. I don't know. It's just so. It's just wrong. Main one. Catherine and Anne. Okay, so Catherine is queen, and Anne is being courted by Henry, and Henry is married to Catherine. That's the big deal in this book, because Anne has to get rid of Catherine to become queen, which takes a long time, like 7 years, like again. Don't know why it's taking so long. Probably because you're marrying too many people. Yeah, so that's one of the big conflicts. And then, of course, Anne is queen, and everyone's like, ew, we don't want no Anne Boleyn. I think that's what they said in the book, like Anne Boleyn, Anne Boleyn, something like that. But, yeah, and because of all this hate towards her, she gets beheaded in the end. Okay, so the second conflict is, this is more towards Anne, but Henry is very not accepting towards ideas. He's very unaccepting towards new ideas. It took Anne forever to separate England from the Catholic Church. She tried to change Henry's opinion, which of course took a long time. Not to mention, she was trying to make him divorce Catherine, which again, he was not for that. Both reasons I don't exactly agree on Anne forcing, but it just shows that Henry did care about the Catholic Church and about Catherine. But what I thought was really touching about Henry is he still cared about his daughter Mary, and Anne was just... Anne, she's like the evil stepmother on Cinderella, except she doesn't have 2 children. She's just, she's just that mean person towards her stepdaughter. Some problems I had with Anne was that I loved her in this book. I said that. I really loved her character, but she was just a bit pushy about her plans. She's like, don't marry Catherine, separate from the Catholic Church, and everything, so I wasn't too, I didn't really support her in that way, but I still loved her overall as a character. So, because of this, it really did drive Henry away, so that's another conflict, is that even though Anne is trying to be queen, she's trying to push her plans upon Henry. However, Henry, like I said, he's unaccepting towards new ideas, so it ends up pushing Henry away from Anne, which ultimately leads up to Anne's death again. So this was, again, another sad ending. Like I said, I loved Anne. I didn't want to see her die, and it was just gruesome the way she died, like beheading. Like, can I read this last sentence real quick? I almost hoped that she could get out of prison, but I mean, I knew that wasn't possible. So she says, before she gets beheaded, "O Lord, have pity on my soul. To Christ I commend my soul." And then literally she says, moving in that direction of the scaffold steps, and she blindly turned her head that way. Now she was told not to turn her head. So she says, "But when it came, there was a choking explosion of searing agony and a dreadful warm gush of blood." That's gruesome, man. It makes me just shudder thinking about it. And hundreds of people gathered to see this. Oh, it actually makes me sick to my stomach to say that out loud. That is just disgusting. It's gruesome, and I just wish Anne had not died that way. I wish she had married Norris and had a happy life. But she didn't. But overall, this is a great read. I loved this book. And I can't wait for the next one, which is the Jane Grey, I think? Yeah, the Lady Jane Grey. So that's going to be interesting because I've heard that the Lady Jane Grey was very young compared to Henry. And, well, apparently Henry likes, he's going to be like 40 and married an 18-year-old. I'm sure I'm going to see that. So I will see you guys next time. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.